So this video I'm going to be going through the replacement procedure of the clutch on my Fazer 400. I haven't seen a video on how to do this for the JDM Fazers. So mine is a Jap import Fazer 400 and the clutch is slipping. Don't worry, it does look a bit different to what you're expecting. That's because the front cowl has been changed to this sort of cafe racer style. This video also applies to Fazer 600s, so follow along. Welcome, we're now in the unit. We barely made it. Clutch is very much slipping, but we are here. I'm going to be doing the full shebang, replacing the clutch cable, clutch gasket, and then doing a oil filter change, because we do have to drain the oil either way. I should just say, before starting any work, it is recommended to soak your clutch plates for 24 hours. I'm only going to be soaking them for around probably an hour, which isn't great. It's not a good idea either, because it might prematurely wear the clutch if it's not soaked in properly, but we'll see how it goes. If it explodes, then it's all on my own accord. Honda Accord. The clutch I'll be using is the EBC Brakes heavy duty original equipment quality clutch plate set. So like I said, the first step is to soak the clutch plates in oil. So I've got myself a little bucket. Make sure it's very clean. If you clean it with water, make sure it's dry. We don't want the water to not only absorb into the clutch plates but into the oil. So I'm going to pop the clutch plates in there and then pour some oil just to cover the very top. So these are the new clutch plates. Very nice, but very dry. Also, I forgot to mention, I didn't get replacement metal plates for in between the clutch plates, but I'll assess how the ones inside the bike look, and if they look alright, then I'll just reuse them. Shouldn't be too big of a deal, obviously as long as they're not too worn. So, clutch plates go in. I'll separate them a little bit, just so each layer gets some oil. And we've got the finest motor oil. This is what I've researched is best for these bikes. And in goes the oil. There you go, that's all covered. Now we'll set that to the side whilst we start stripping down the engine. So I am doing this on my Fazer 400, which is a JDM bike, but this does also apply to 600s and then also UK spec 600s. They're all the same. In theory, this applies to every bike. It's the same process, just obviously different parts, different accessories, different things to take off. So watch along. I'm going to skip ahead through some of the more simpler parts, like draining the oil. I'll just quickly show you in case you don't know where the drain plug is. So it is on the left side of the bike, but it is right underneath the kickstand there, somewhere around here. Undo that, undo the filter, let it all drain, and then go from there. Right, so oil's drained, filter has been replaced, some plugs back in so it's not pissing out oil. You might notice the bike does look a little bit different. That's just because I've been doing some mining off camera. I wasn't quite sure how the clutch cable comes out, because might as well do that to let the clutch plates soak a little bit longer. So I took the seat off. If you don't know how to take the seat off on these bikes, there is a little keyhole here. Put your key in here, twist it, seat comes off. There's also a little bolt here. There used to be a little bolt there. Undo that, and then the whole tank comes up. I don't think you need to do that for replacing the clutch, but now you know how to do that. This clutch is a little bit different. It's nothing like what I've ever seen. So it runs from the clutch lever down the frame here, comes out here, this fat cable, and it goes here behind the sprocket cover. And also undo the selector lever. I did mark it so I know roughly the position it was when I took it out, so it still has the same range of movement. Remove the bolts. There is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 bolts holding this cover on. Undo those and it should slide out. Comes out like this. And then this is the mechanism. It sits on this little lever bit, and then you've got this rodded bit that goes into here. I'm gonna replace it. I'm also gonna check if I got the right part, because it does look a bit different. So it might be that I don't even replace the clutch cable, but I'll have a little look see, and I'll let you know. So this cable sits in this little mechanism. When you pull the clutch, the mechanism goes up, which, let me show you. When you pull this up, this moves up as well, and it comes outwards, which then pushes this pin. So this in theory is a slave cylinder, like on a car, and then that pushes in to, I guess, disengage the clutch. Could be wrong, could be right, but that is what I'm gathering from this. I have removed the cable. It is quite fiddly, so what I done is I removed the bolts holding in this so-called slave cylinder, removed it fully, and then moved it to the side. It has this little kind of plate that holds in the cable. I just bent it down slightly, being careful not to snap it, because that would be a long day, and then just shimmied the cable out. Now I'm just gonna go along the frame, unclip it from all its bits, and then remove it from there and compare it to the new one, which I'm worried won't be right. But wish me luck. This is literally the worst part of working on any sort of bike or motorbike, especially when it's old. I've had the worst luck with getting the right parts recently. So the cable doesn't fit. It's not right. It's too long. The design is completely different. It doesn't fit into the slave cylinder. So I'm gonna have to refit the old cable. I love doing that. I've had to do that way too often recently. I've double checked. It definitely says it's for a Fazer 400, same year, 1997. So I don't know what I've done wrong, or they've done wrong, but yeah, it's just annoying. Now I have to refit the old part, which doesn't feel great. So all of that was for nothing. But if you do have the correct cable, that is how you do it. Right, so let's get into what you're here for, which is the clutch. So what we're going to need to do is, mind the squeaky boots, undo all of these bolts. No need to touch this, that's to the starter. Just this, just taking off this cover here. 11 bolts, and then take it off, and then we'll see the glorious clutch plates. I do also recommend you make a little diagram, because some of these are different lengths. So this is roughly the outline of this. And there we go. That cover came off a lot easier than I expected. Didn't even have to give it a bash or anything. So this is the clutch. Also didn't piss out as much oil as I thought. Next thing to do is take out these bolts holding the clutch springs down, and then let's have a look at natural plates. Okay, pressure plate off. Slight scoring, and might not be able to see that very well, but there is an imprint from the clutch plate on the pressure plate. But let's have a look at this first clutch plate. To be fair, they do look quite worn. It seems to me like this bike has been sitting for some time, because the clutch plate material has kind of fused to some of the parts. Can you see that? It's So there is bits of clutch plate on the metal plate and also on the pressure plate. So to me it feels like maybe this has been sitting for a while. Also, I can't remember the exact way of doing this, but you can do a little scratch test, and if your finger kind of like fingernail glides over it, clutch plates are quite worn, which these feel like it, because pretty sure with motorbike clutches it's different to car clutches. It's not as visible, it's more of the compound in the clutch material that goes out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these out, make sure to remember how they come out, and then I'm going to give the metal plates in between a little clean up with some sandpaper, some light sandpaper, maybe 1000 grit, 2000 grit. Right, so we've got all of them off. The fifth plate is different size, and it has the anti-judder spring. Usually, from what I've read there, the anti-judder spring goes on with the first plate, but this one was on the fifth, so I don't know if I should put it back on the fifth or the first. I'll do a little more research on that, but they don't look terrible. They're definitely worn, and the metal plates definitely have looked better. I'm going to give the metal plates a little wipe down now, and then put it back together. Okay, all the metal plates have now been cleaned. Time to now install the new plates. I'm not sure how it's going to work because I don't know if we have a half plate for the spring. So just keep an eye on the thicknesses. I'm going to go one by one. Get the bucket closer. I don't have oil going everywhere. Okay, so all the clutch plates are in. We did have a half plate, and the half plate was the fifth plate in, which also had the anti-judder spring, and now goes on the pressure plate and then the springs, and hopefully it will be alright. Okay, clutch springs are in. They torque to 8 Newton meters, which is basically tight. Next goes the gasket. So I've checked the gasket is correct. Okay, gasket is on the cover. Now we'll just put it on. Again, with the bolts we want to do a crisscross when tightening, just so it seats properly, and squeeze it down equally basically, so we don't get one side that goes in before another. Couldn't quite get a clear answer for how much oil goes in, but some are saying 2.5, some are saying 2.7, some are saying 3, some are saying 3.5. So I'm going to put 2.5 in and see what the level's at. This will go down slightly because I've changed the oil filter. That's about straight, and that's quite high. So I'm going to leave it at that, give it a start, see how the clutch is doing, and then check the oil after and potentially top it up. But I've put around 2.7 in now, and I think that should be good. So everything's on, clutch cover's on, oil's in, gasket's on, filter's on, cable is not on, but I'm going to give it a start, see how the clutch is doing. We're hoping that there's not too much drag, and also that it goes into gear alright, and then after to give it a test ride, because there's no other way to test that in here, unless we do, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm going to give it a start and see how it's doing. That's biting way quicker. sooner, which is a good sign. Could also be the cable, but I'm gonna give it a little ride around, see if maybe I need to slack off the cable a little more, or maybe do the opposite. But that's how to change the clutch on a Fazer 400. Hope you enjoyed. This is a little learning experience for me, as well as maybe for you. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Check out some of my other videos. You might enjoy this one right here. And thank you for watching.